talking about the next race or coming to Adelaide or going to Brisbane. And of course, they would have had to send out press conference information, media releases last night for the announcement today. So it's really odd.
Well, I was reading in the paper this morning that they were talking about Black Caviar coming here for another race, and I thought, oh, okay, so just keep going. And then when you said that, I was like, oh, okay, righto. So interesting.
Before anything could possibly go wrong,
that's it.
I mean, they've earned enough money, so...
Well, that's right, 25 wins straight. It's amazing, and she's been overseas, and it's been really good career for her.
Great career.
Yeah, good job.
And well, before that, I thought was the most breaking news of the week, but not till Black Caviar steals the thunder.
Well, that's
right. Would you like to tell us about that?
Yeah, Adam Scott became the first Australian to win the US Masters on Sunday night our time. So congratulations to Adam. He's become the first Australian. There's been a couple that have come close. There's a lot of Greg Norman came second a couple of times, and
I think Adam Scott was watching that when he was 15 or something.
Yeah, he said that Greg Norman is one of his idols. So he's been following him since he's a little boy, and so it's obviously good for him to don the green jacket and become the first Aussie to do so. And we had another Aussie come in third, Adam Day.
That's right.
So well done to him. He was outright leader at the start of the day. After a couple of holes, and then fell in a hole. He bogeyed the 16th and the 17th hole and fell away. But so good to see. Yes. Good to see that there's a good Aussie contingent going around in the golfing world. So that win at the US Masters moves Adam Scott up to number 3 in the world.
Oh, that's good.
In golfing terms. So that's good for him. So hopefully he can win it, get it a couple more tournaments under his belt, and push up to number 1 and knock over Tiger.
I was just wondering if he's back on top.
So he's back on top as a couple of weeks ago. So, and netball.
Yes. So we had round 4 over the weekend. Thunderbirds won 72-46 against West Coast Fever. So slight thrashing, I guess you can call it.
Yeah, it was a good win. Very good win.
Yes. And so this weekend they take on Melbourne Vixens in Adelaide at Netball Stadium. So it should be a good match. Von Berto has said they're better prepared for this match against the Vixens because they haven't done too well the last few times they've met. So
yeah, I believe they played the Vixens a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, and didn't do so well. And Sherelle McMahon as well coming back, or maybe coming back for the Vixens. She's after having a baby, and she had problems injury-wise as well. So
that'll be a big blow for the Thunderbirds.
Yeah, that's it. That's a big in for the Vixens if that does occur. But hopefully not.
Yeah. And once again, some semi-controversy in Formula 1.
Yeah, Mark Webber, after all the talk with the feud between him and Sebastian Vettel, Mark Webber didn't end up finishing the Chinese Grand Prix, unfortunately. Yep. So he lost it. He had a collision with another driver, and so he's been penalised 4 grid spots in the next race. And also, he ran into that other car, so he went off to the pits and then came back on and lost his wheel. So he was out for the rest of the race. So unfortunate for him, and there's been a lot of rumours circulating that his team's out to get him, and which I don't believe is true. I think that's just a load of rubbish. But and Christian Horner, who's the Red Bull owners, said that as well. He said it's just garbage. But there's also been other rumours floating around that Mark Webber's going to move to the Porsche, Porsche and drive Porsches. But so that'll be interesting. But he's squashed rumours and said that that's not true either. So there's a lot of controversy around there. But he's still around the mark. He obviously came second in the Malaysian Grand Prix and finished recently, I think, 6th or thereabouts in the Australian Grand Prix before that. So he's still around the mark. I think he's 6th in the championship. So So fingers crossed he can come back out next race and get a win under his belt. Hopefully, his relationship with Sebastian Vettel gets a little bit better in the next couple of races. Moving on,
Yes.
got some tennis news for us?
I do. So there's a tournament in Poland just finished the other day. Petra Kvitova was beaten in the final by the second seed, Roberta Vinci, 7-6, 6-1. So tough in the first set, but breezed through in the second. The World Group semi-finals for the Women's Fed Cup take place this weekend. The Czech Republic take on Italy and Russia take on the Slovak Republic, with the final being played on the 2nd and 3rd of November. So we'll keep you updated with that. Also, the World Group playoffs for next year are also on this weekend. In Group 1, Germany take on Serbia, Switzerland take on Australia, and playing for Australia are Sam Stosur, Casey Delacroix, Ashley Barty and Jamila Gardasova.
Sounds like a good team.
Yeah, should be good. With Ashley Barty playing in her second tie.
Mm.
So good luck to her.
Yeah. Cool.
Spain take on Japan and USA take on Sweden. I have a feeling USA might end up winning that group with the Williams sisters and young gun Sloane Stephens, who's worked her way up to number 16 in the world. So I think they're in with a chance.
Yeah, that's definitely a very good team.
And Group 2, Belgium take on Poland, France take on Kazakhstan, Argentina take on Great Britain, and the Ukraine take on Canada. I think France might win Group 2 with Marion Bartoli, Elise Cornet and Kristina Maldanovic all in the top 50. So they're looking the goods for that one, I think. And the Monte Carlo Rolex Masters tournament is being played in Monaco at the moment, clay tournament for men. Novak Djokovic is the number 1 seed and cruised through the second round because of a bye. So lucky him, got a rest. He takes on Mikhail Yuzny in his second round match. So could be tough, but he could just breeze through. We'll
I haven't heard much of Mikhail Yuzny in the last couple of tournaments.
Last few years.
Yeah, well, that's it. Yeah.
But mate, he's on the comeback maybe.
Yes, that's right.
And poor old Bernie Tomic lost in the first round. But Marinko Matso, it gets me every time, Matsovic, will take on Rafael Nadal in the second round. So tough draw.
Well, we had to beat Fernando Verdasco in the first round, so that's a good win for him.
He could get close, I reckon.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see.
It's on clay.
Yeah.
Remember that.
Yeah, so Rafa's probably got it down.
Oh.
But it'd be interesting
Good
to
luck.
see. Yeah, that's it. Good luck. I think it'd be interesting to see if Matsovic goes above Bernie in the world rankings. If he's been knocked out in the first round, Matsovic is still going. So interesting to see that.
And Juan Martín Del Potro, Richard Gasquet, Grigor Dimitrov, Philip Kohlschreiber and Joe Wilfried Songa are all through to the third round.
So some big names still floating around that draw. So that'll be good. We'll have to keep you posted on that.
Definitely
keep an eye out for them.
And talk about Glenelg on the weekend.
Didn't do so well on the weekend, unfortunately. Going down to Port Adelaide by 4 points, I believe. 104 to 108.
Yep.
Yeah. Can you tell us a little bit about that game?
Well, it was nail-biting finish with the lead changing 5 times in the last quarter.
Cool.
So, edge of your seat stuff.
Yeah.
They had some injuries early. Tenace with a broken
Tenace, yep.
Broken nose.
Yeah.
He got hit in the nose and with a hamstring. Someone else with a hamstring. Names lost me, but yeah. So I think that hurt them early, and then even though they kept up the whole game, it was just the end that, unfortunately.
Yeah, and obviously we had a reasonably handy recruit down the bay at the end of last week, Sean McKernan coming over from South Adelaide, so that's a handy pickup. So, but looking in the paper this morning, it looks like he might be not too far away from a crow's kick. So, I have to wait and see with that.
So this Saturday night, Glenelg take on Centrals under lights at Glitterall Stadium here in Glenelg. Central are coming off 3 losses to start the season and are sitting second to bottom on the ladder.
Wow, that's unusual.
It's very
for
surprising.
Them. Yeah. No Gowers brothers, though, I guess.
Yeah. Could be the reason. But hoping to get down to that match. So if you're not doing anything, going down 6:30 start. And if you haven't already signed up, become a member for as little as $50 for the season. They need just over 800 more members to reach their target of 3,000 for the season. So
nearly there.
Yeah.
Come on, guys, jump on board and help out the base. And moving on to AFL
Our
news.
favourite time of the week.
Love the AFL. And James Hird still in the news after his alleged drug use last week.
Yes.
He's faced Asada yesterday. He had an interview with them and
Mm-hmm.
said that it was good to portray his side of the story, I think.
Yes.
So although we don't know exactly what was said and we don't know what was answered or anything, he's come out and said that he was very happy to portray his side of the story, and good that people were actually finally listening to his views and what he had to say, rather than all the media just scrutinising. And
Yep.
I think that's a fair point. And you said you were watching him on TV after the Fremantle game on Friday, and he talked really well.
Yeah.
And it would have been under so much pressure at the end of last week when after Demetrio came out and said that he needs to step down. So it's good to see he's still around the place, and
He
and
coped
obviously,
well.
yeah, he's got all the support of his club and all his players, and it was in the change rooms after the game. You could see that because everyone was coming up to him and hugging him, and Goody as well, ex-Crows captain, who's now an assistant coach down there, was hugging everyone as well. It's just it was obviously
Looks like good atmosphere.
Yeah, that's it. So
The commentators interviewed him straight after the game, and he coped with that very well, considering it was not long after the end of the game. And then they also showed the press conference, and I think the thing I took most out of that was he just kept saying, "I'm the coach of this club, and I'm going to continue to be the coach of this club until I'm told I'm not."
Well, so he should.
Exactly.
He's definitely the right man for the job, I think, and that showed from the 3 wins, no loss start for the Bombers this year. So.
And especially a day or two after everything came out, he was still
standing strong. Yeah, and you got an injury update for us as well. Some big names on the injury list, including the Crows skipper.
Unfortunately, Nathan Van Berlo will be out for up to a month after scans reveal bone bruising around his knee. So that's unlucky. Because I was working, I couldn't really watch the game, but I did see he was subbed out, so I was wondering what that was about. So
yeah, I was a bit surprised when they said he was subbed off for half time. I thought interesting move, but obviously there was a reason for it.
And Gary Ablett has had MRI scans after suffering pain and swelling in his right hand. X-rays have cleared him of any broken bones, but was sent for MRIs to see what was causing the pain. But he insists he'll be fine for the clash against Port Adelaide this weekend. So
he said he was struggling to shake hands at the end of the game last week. He said he had to explain to a few of the players that he was couldn't shake hands because his hand was a bit sore. So
I suppose for Port Adelaide, probably are hoping he's not.
Yeah, well, that's right. And he's coming up against his... He said during the week that Ken Hinkley, who was his assistant coach at Geelong and the Gold Coast, is almost like a second father to him, so it'll be interesting to see how those two come up against each other for the first time on the weekend. So,
and Matthew Cruiser from Carlton, his injury, predicted injury time has been shortened from 6 to 8 weeks to 3 to 4 weeks, so that's good news for Carlton.
Yes, but not so good news for the Bulldogs, who Sean Higgins is out for the season, so unfortunate for him. But on the positive for them, their skipper Matthew Boyd is looking like a chance of playing this week. So they'll be playing the Crows here on Sunday. That's
right. I'll be there, Premier's Bar. Dane Swan, in other better news, Dane Swan will play his 200th game this weekend. Yep. So that's a good achievement. He was saying in an interview last night, I think on Foxtel, how it's hard to be a footballer and it's a horrible world to be living in, and it's easy to fall into the traps of depression and everything. So good to see if he's been in that situation to be up and playing 200 games.
Well, all the scrutiny came under at the start of last year about him being overweight, and I don't understand how you can be overweight as an AFL footballer. Like, clearly, the amount of training they do, it's almost impossible to be overweight. We said last week about Essendon taking the obesity drugs.
Yeah, no.
So I think so.
And some unfortunate news from Melbourne. So far, they are the only club not to have a player awarded a vote in the AFL Coaches Association Champion Player Award in the first three rounds. Each coach awards votes ranging from 5 to 1 for the best player in each game. Not even Mark Neild has been able to put any of his players in there.
Surely just start giving his players votes just so he could
get
someone on there.
Yeah.
And young Hawthorn footballer Jed Anderson.
Yes.
This week's round 3 NAB Rising Star nominee.
Congratulations.
So congratulations to him. And Ollie Wines from the Powers firming as the odds-on favourite after his display on the weekend in the showdown. He played very well on the weekend, so he's firming to favouritism there. So
yes.
well deserved.
Have you got the results from last week?
I do have the results right here in front of me. So, started Friday night over in the West at Pattinson Stadium with the Bombers defeating Fremantle 72-68. It was a very close game.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Mayne had a rushed snap from the top of the goal square and hit the post. So, had a chance
I was
to win the
feeling
game.
for him.
Yeah, I reckon if he went to Pattinson Stadium now, he'd probably still be on the ground with his head in his hands, I think. So then on Saturday we had Sydney defeating the Kangaroos 131-92. Kangaroos were up by 14 points at half time, and Sydney kicked 11 goals to 1 in the third quarter. So big turnaround, and very annoying to me because I picked Kangaroos in my footy tips. Melbourne's bad run continued. They went down to the Eagles by 94 points, 177-83 at the G. So unfortunate for them. So their horror run continues, and Mark Neild's position as coach continues to be scrutinised, and each loss brings the axe closer. I think, unfortunately. And
for him. Sorry to interrupt, but
that's right.
I did see that they put it to the other coaches and head people of the AFL, and they've all decided that extra draft picks or that is not going to happen. No one wants it to happen.
I don't think it should.
No, it's a silly idea, but I suppose helping out a team that's struggling, it's hard. It
is hard, and you can't. If you give Melbourne draft picks, if another team suffers the same kind of thing in the next couple of years, you have to do the same thing for them, because otherwise they'll come back and go, well, why'd you do it for Melbourne and not us? Exactly right. I don't think that's the answer.
Good decision, but...
and you look at the previous drafts, they've had some high draft picks in the last couple of drafts.
Certainly have.
And you look at those draft picks that they've picked up compared to Carlton's number 1 draft picks, like your Cruisers and your Mark Murphys and your Bryce Gibbs, compared to what Melbourne have picked up. They're not like Jack Watts. Jack Watts didn't even play last weekend.
Yeah.
So it's not like they haven't had high draft picks. There's just the way they've used them.
Utilised them properly. Hopefully they'll pick up.
That's it. That's it. Fingers crossed for them. St Kilda defeated GWS 140-68.
Whoa.
So another big win against the Giants there. A close game up in Brisbane at Metricon Stadium. Brisbane defeated Gold Coast by 2 points, 94-92.
Who'd you pick?
Close game. I picked Gold Coast. Unfortunately, I was hoping they'd get up, but not quite. Geelong defeated Carlton 119-103. So that's 0-3
Mick Molehouse.
0-3 Mick Molehouse. So you can't really say the pressure. They've had some pretty tough games. They've had Geelong, they've had Collingwood last week, and they had... who did they have first week?
Hawthorn?
No, someone tough first week as well. So they've had a reasonably tough start to the season. So Richmond first week. That's right. So a tough start to the season. So it'll turn around for them. I think their draw starts to open up in the next couple of weeks. So fingers crossed for them and Mick Molehouse. The Tigers continued their good run, defeating the Bulldogs 135-68. So
dream run.
3 from 3 so far. Their best start in 18 years.
That's right.
So good on them.
Each time it just goes up.
That's exactly right.
The amount of years since it's happened.
Exactly right. They've got a tough game against Collingwood this week, so I don't know whether they'll be able to go forward. Yeah, you hope so. They've got a good midfield, so it'll be interesting to see Richmond's and Collingwood's midfield go head to head. Speaking of Collingwood, they went down to Hawthorn by 55 points. It's a bit of a blowout in the third and fourth quarter, so Hawthorn getting up there 145-90. And in the showdown, unfortunately, the Crows went down 118-109. So Port played very well, though. They had Travis Blake won the showdown medal and had Blake
with 36 or 30 something points behind at half-time into the third quarter.
31 points down, started the third quarter and came back and ran over the top of the Crows. So, Port played really well.
The better team won on the
Unfortunately, it kills me to say it, but they did. Travis Boak played well, and so did Hamish Hartlett and Ollie Wines. Justin Westhoff continued his good form, kicking another 4, so he's in some good form at the moment.
Yes, he is, isn't he?
So, move on another week. So, round 4. Who have we got this week? Can you tell us who we've got this week?
So, Friday night, we've got Sydney and Geelong at the SCG.
Oh, that's going to be a big game. I think Geelong,
I think Sydney, but we should write this down every time.
We should, shouldn't we? We should.
Just to see how we go. And then we have Hawthorn and Fremantle on Saturday afternoon.
Is that down in Tassie?
Yes.
Yes, I think Hawthorn will get up in that one.
Yes, and so do I. And so Richmond and Collingwood, we're just talking about that. So I think Collingwood would win, but I would like Richmond to win.
I think Collingwood will win. I think it'll be whoever's midfield comes out on top. I think they've got some good midfields, both teams, so it'll be interesting to see how that goes.
So Saturday twilight, St Kilda versus Essendon at Etihad.
I think Essendon will win that quite comfortably. I think.
Definitely agree with that. At Metricon Stadium, Suns versus Port Adelaide. So I hate to pick. I don't hate to pick, but Port Adelaide. But I want Gold Coast to win because I'm on their bandwagon this season. So
yeah, but you got to pick who's going to win. You can't pick teams that you hope are going to win.
I know.
I think Port will make it 4 and zip. I think quite comfortably.
And West Coast and Carlton on another twilight game.
West Coast. It's over there, so I think West Coast will get up.
Nil and 4 for poor old Mickey, I think.
Then again, it'd be interesting to see. West Coast have got a few injuries, so.
Oh yeah, that's right.
But I think still West Coast.
Melbourne versus the Giants at the MCG. Will it be a good game?
I think it'll be a scrappy game. I don't know whether it'll be a good game, but
it'll be maybe a close game.
Oh, it'll be close. Well,
maybe the Giants will.
I think the Giants. Yep. And it'll be interesting to see if the Giants do get up. They ruined Matthew Primus's career last year, so it'll be interesting to see if Mark Neal goes 0 and 4. This could cost him his job as well. It's interesting to see.
And Crows and Bulldogs Sunday afternoon at Amy.
Crows.
I reckon. And lastly, Kangaroos and Brisbane at Etihad on Sunday afternoon.
I think the Kangaroos will win that.
Yes, me too. We agreed on most of those this week.
I think so. We did. We did well this week. There was a couple we had different, but as you say, we should write them down and so we can compare them in the next couple of weeks. Yeah.
That's
beautiful. I reckon that's about all we've got for this week. So you've been listening to us on Ozsports Online or Spreaker.
If you want to listen live when we have a more permanent time, it is on Spreaker.
Yes, it is on Spreaker. And we will have, when we move back to our Thursday time slot, we'll make sure we get on Facebook during the show and you can communicate with us and we'll have a bit of a chat. You can follow us on Facebook at Mad Mondays with
Twitter?
Celeste and Patrick, and on Twitter. Twitter at Mad Mondays 13. Or you can check us out on the Ozsports Online website.
Yes, and we still are looking to do Tiger Tube. We haven't got the first edition posted yet, but
we've been working on it. We've been practicing.
Yes. So hopefully something happens soon.
Yeah, so we'll keep you posted on that. So keep your eye on the Glenelg Football Club website, and also join up with their membership. They're getting close to their target. There's about another 900 to go until they've reached their target of 3,000. So jump on board the Bays bandwagon. So thank you again for listening to Mad Mondays with Patrick and Celeste.
And we'll same time next week.
Yeah, same time next week. Enjoy.